In here, ladies and gentlemen, obviously it's a full house today, but tell you what, really good football team getting ready to play in our stadium. I mean, Coach Shanahan, way back from when we had to play his dad, Coach Kubiak out of the same family. I mean, they do a great job running the football. They do a great job with their play action. We got our hands full. So should they get, Debo Samuel, he's a tailback. He's a great wide receiver. Kittle, you know what he can do. I mean, he's as good a tight end as there is, blocking and receiving and yards after catch. We got our hands full there. Juice, number 44. I was with him in Baltimore, Pro Bowl fullback / everything. He goes out and plays wide receiver. He runs the ball. He even comes in and takes quarterback sneak snaps. So they do a great job trying to and getting you off balance and doing things. They're getting big people to throw the ball. They're getting little people to look like big personnel. So we got our hands full, and they're going to come in and run the football and try to get the ball in the perimeter, try to get the ball in the middle of the field to their playmakers. So we got our hands full. Recapping last game, I thought the guys, we got to start better, start faster. I think when we got down 17-0, I think they made a decision that that was it, and they weren't going to get any more. And we kept fighting, kept scratching. We wanted to just try to get away to get the game into the fourth quarter with a chance to win the game. And all three phases did that. It wasn't just defense. Offense had some really good drives. And we just got to find a way to take the ball like we did the week before and keep improving and playing better. With that, I'll open it up for questions.
George Kittle, you mentioned him. What's the plan to defend a guy like that?
That's it. I know this. You can get two on him, and he still splits. They move him around. They put him out at number 1. They put him at 3. Put him in the backfield. We just you gotta play tight coverage on him and play inside of him, outside of him. He does a really good job at the catch point where he turns around and you're basically a little bit out of position. He positions well, like a basketball player. But the big thing he does, like when he catches the ball, he gets a lot of yards after contact. So you got to tackle him. You limit the yards after contact because he does as good a job as anybody after he catches the ball.
How difficult is it to come up with a plan to defend a guy like Samuel? He's a dual threat, obviously, as a pass catcher and a running. Have you seen a guy that versatile?
Yeah, you look back when I was here before, Coach Meyer had, Percy. I mean, they were doing it in Minnesota, so he'd be out there in zebra. Next thing you know, he's the tailback. It looks like empty. He comes back in the backfield. They throw tosses, crack flips. So you're in pass defense, and now they're running the ball, and they're doing the same thing. So, and we do some of that. I mean, you look at what we've done with our guys. It's difficult, but I mean, you just got to be ready for it, have your antennas up, and be able to play the kind of the look that you get.
What changed for you guys the last 3 quarters of the previous game? I mean, Walker goes off for 93 yards and 10 carries in the first quarter, and he literally gets nothing after that.
Well, I think, Gene, good question. When you're looking at the game, I mean, the first run went for like close to 40. I think it was 34. We were in good position. Malcolm was doing it. In fact, I thought our guys did a great job on Nelson, and the center. I thought we really did, and that was our big focal point, was knocking him back. And Malcolm, even on that play, did a great job. It was just right when they came off, he split it. We missed a tackle, and then the effort though to make sure he didn't go the distance, which he had been doing, enabled us to play the next play. So there was 2 or 3 runs like that, and after that, I thought our guys settled down and we were physical up front. Guys were in their gaps, and when he did break a 5-6 yarder, we tackled him. So that was really the big difference. We did a few things, nothing that we haven't done before. We moved the front around a little bit, but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. We just played it better.
What's the plan for the pass rush in the last maybe 3.5 weeks?
Well, I think another really good question, John. When you look at it, it was like, okay, we rushed well against Buffalo, but they didn't have this guy in, they didn't have that guy in. Doesn't matter who plays, you got to still rush. I think our rush and coverage are really working well together. The defensive backs and the underneath coverage are getting their depth and making the quarterback maybe hold the ball a little bit, and then our rush is getting there. We're getting great pocket collapse, which we call it, from Roy, from Taven, from Jihad, and from Malcolm, from Devon. I mean, all those guys are doing a great job, and I think that's what's really helped. And our edge guys were getting pressure, but now we're starting to get that push up the middle, and then you mix in a pressure or two, when you want to blitz and the blitzes are coming home.
How
Right.
much growth have you seen from Tyson Campbell the past couple of weeks? And have you sort of just seen his confidence grow as he's been getting more snaps?
Yeah, I thought he really played an excellent game. He was physical. He had one of the ones Gene mentioned. He had a touchdown saving tackle. It wasn't on the real long one. It was like 15-yarder. It was one of the second runs. He came from his corner position and knifed him down, which some guys in weeks past that was going the distance. But I think he's playing tighter in his coverage, and like even the one where Miles had to hit in the quarterback, Wentz made a nice throw and he just went and tomahawked the ball out, and that gives a young guy a lot of confidence against a pretty good player. And if he can continue to keep developing and he gets better and better, it's not easy to come in and start in this league as a corner. And never mind, we had Marlon Humphrey. He didn't start when he's one of the best corners in the league. He didn't start as a rookie. Moved him around, had to play, started some games. Then he played nickel. Then he moved back outside.
This defense has always been confident. At least it seems like they're always dancing at practice. They're always happy. Do you notice them carrying themselves a different way since this recent success?
No, I think even like throughout the year, there were times like I said last week, they really played well. But now it was we got to put 4 quarters together, and they did that obviously against Buffalo, and then we didn't start well. But then they drew the line in the sand and said enough is enough, and let's get the ball back for the offense. So I just think as they continue to grow, continue to play with one another. Within the system, they're just getting better and feeling more comfortable with what they're doing, and they're playing physical and fast. And when you know what to do, you can play fast.
How impressive have you been just with the physicality the last 2 weeks?
I think all year they've been physical. There hadn't been a team that said we're going to just bloody your nose and knock you. I mean, even in the Tennessee game, until the last 4-minute drive, but real good. I mean, the guys we've added up front, Malcolm Brown's is as physical as they get. He's been like that. Ham inside as a nose, he's physical, and those two guys really had great knockback. Roy and Taven and AG do a great job inside, and I think our ends are really doing a great job setting the edge. And I think I said it before, getting Damian Wilson as a thumper in the middle. Now you got a 250-pound Mike that strikes people, and then obviously Miles has always done that, and we're tackling well. So I think our physicality is one of our strengths.
Just about the whole defensive front. It just seems like for whatever reason things have come together a little bit more here these last 2. When the season started, did you kind of figure it was going to go this way? That maybe there'd be some growing pains for the unit because they hadn't been playing together, but as the season went on, things would start to get a little bit more in sync.
Yeah, I thought as the season we were going to get better and better. Unfortunately, it took a little longer than we wanted, but I just think that's really helping. And the guys are getting a feel of one another, how to rush together in terms of talking about pass rush, Gene, how to rush with one another. Like you get out 4 great rushers and everyone's doing their own thing, nothing works. It takes 4 to get to the quarterback, not just one. You can have a great rusher and they chip them, but when all 4 start doing what the plan wants them to do, and they start doing that. And the big thing, again, I think we're being physical inside, and that's really helped. And then the Tosh, Coach Lapoy, and Coach Lucas, those guys have done a great job. Coach Orr with all those guys honing them in and getting to the quarterback. And again, the coverage, I think, has really helped as well.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
How
How we doing?
Can you just talk about what's it going to take sort of to get your offense going?
It starts with execution. I think is the biggest thing for us. That's really our focus this week is being on our details and being able to execute. So, whatever we need to do from our part as coaches to be able to help them, get to that area is something that we're really focusing on.
How do you limit the drops?
Yeah, it's just continued emphasis. We really work on it every single day, and it's sometimes I think it can be almost a self-fulfilling prophecy sometimes. If you harp on something too much, then you draw too much attention to it. But like I say all the time, all these guys are professional catchers. They're receivers for a reason, and their job is to catch the ball. So we expect them to catch it, and then we'll do everything that we can to help them. All the drill work, we do that every day, and it's got to be something that can't get in their head either, if you know what I'm talking about.
So you don't up the jugs machine because of that?
Well, if you're out there early, I mean, you see all these guys every day are on the jug machine, so all the things that we need to do, or that they're doing, we're doing, and we can, there's other things that we can still harp on, and usually what we emphasize we get is, that's what I always tell these guys, and the harder they work at something and emphasize in one area, usually you get it. And so we'll just continue to do that. There's little things that, all kinds of drills and drill work and putting things on the football and, all the things to get their focus onto it.
How do you get call up plays or whatever you have to do to get more involvement from LaVisca?
What do I have to do?
Yeah. What does he have to do?
Well, we're doing things to put him in the position to get the ball. We're going to even make more adjustments with that, and just continue to hunt ways to get it to him. It's sometimes the defense has stuff to say about it, like when you're just sending them down the field, so you can see some of the other things that we've tried to do with it, and we'll keep working in that area.
What was the reason putting him? You felt he can get more opportunities on the outside than he would have in the slide, or what? Because it seemed like you guys are moving him back inside. I mean, what was?
Well, when you look at the makeup of the receiver room, we felt like, so when we lost DJ, we really needed a guy to go outside, and so then you look at the group, and our preference is to have a bigger guy that goes outside and has to hold down that X position. We have a little bit more of Fs on our team, with Agnew. Agnew was coming on with Tavon, with those type of guys that are really more of the inside guys. So it was more out of necessity. Not sure it helps, LaVisca that much. And so, we'll continue to move those guys around, and work them at different spots and get live back inside at times. Agnew's been doing a really nice job for us, and has some explosive capabilities as well. But I think it was more the personnel that we had that kind of drove that to put him on the outside.
Apologies for going back to the drops.
Yep.
But you said putting things on the football?
Yeah, you draw numbers on. You can write numbers on the football. You can paint it colors so that as they're focusing on the ball, it's like, hey, that's a red dot, or hey, that's a 2, that's a 5, as they're catching it, and just really put their focus more on the ball. Because sometimes guys will, they're so confident in their hands. Is if you watch, their hands will go like that, but then their eyes start to leave before they finish the catch. And so, eyes to the tuck is something that we talk about all the time. So when you put, you can draw numbers on there or whatever you want to put on there to be able to have their focus all the way on it and come back and say, hey, that was a 2, that was on the ball.
And you've done that recently, or you've done it all year?
We've done it. If you look in some of the bags, there's, there's balls on there that have those, whether, all different kind of numbers, just so that to really work on their focus on eyes to the tuck.
So they catch it, get rid of the ball, and then they got to tell you what the number was.
Yeah. I wouldn't say you didn't do it very well. You just kind of went like that. So you got to look at it to see what that is. Yeah, exactly. So eyes to the tuck, but that, if you watch a lot of those drops, it's just, just start to turn away because of their confidence in their hand. So, it'd be like if I'm catching that ball, it'd be like, oh, the Jags logo, so that you're looking that thing all the way in.
I got it.
Got it?
I do.
Okay.
Where's Trevor's confidence right now?
I think he's fine. The guy is one, confident in his ability. He's confident in the guys that are around him, and it's really the struggles that we're having on offense is not one person. It's all of us, and all of us will get it fixed together. Starting with me. That's the first thing I told the guys on when they came in here on Monday. That it starts with me. Got to help them, and then they got to help themselves as well, and we got to work together.
What can you do to help a rookie quarterback like Trevor when things are just not going well, that drops, penalties are happening around him, instead of just himself making mistakes?
Well, I think the important thing is that each guy focuses on his own area. You can't worry about, I can't worry about how many drops are happening or what's going on with the protections. What can I do? And if each guy is doing that and taking care of his business, then we'll have everybody functioning at a high level.
How rare, I know he's on the other side of the ball, but Deebo Samuel, how rare are those guys? We kind of got Agnew like that, but how rare are those guys in the NFL to find and be able to utilize?
I don't know how hard to find. You can find guys with the skill sets. I think it's the coaches being able to use them. I think Kyle does a great job of putting those guys in positions. And sometimes I think what happens to coaches a lot is is you want to see what's going to happen when, if I put this guy here, how's the defense going to react? And sometimes you don't know what's exactly going to happen. And I think that sometimes coaches fall into that, where it's like you like to know what you're going to get from the other side. They're going to react this way. And, so not as willing to do it at times. So sometimes you just got to say, you know what, this is what I think is going to happen, and we're going to go with it. Just for example, the play we put Agnew in the backfield, we were able to get a nice play, and they cooperated and lined up in a good way for us, and we ended up getting a good play. But we have guys like that, more guys like that on our team. Like LaVisca is one of those guys. Agnew is one of those guys. You really want to have the ball in their hands, and what's the easiest way to get it to them? Sometimes it is to hand it to them.
ETN would have been that.
He would have been that kind of guy, yes.
Joe Cullen compared Devo to Percy. Did you?
I did, yeah.
Do you see some?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, Percy Harvin coming in the league, he was rookie of the year for us in Minnesota. Super fast, very, very tough, flexible. He could catch the ball. You could hand it to him out of the backfield. He could really run any type of run. Sometimes with the guys, do you want to run them inside between the tackles, or is it everything going outside? And Percy was one of those guys you could run any style of run with them as well. And I see them do those kind of things with Debo.
Sorry, way off track.
No, I was with you right there.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's it? All right, thank you.
Thank you.